Hello, a pleasant good afternoon to everyone. What we're going to talk about is mastering Zoom. I am accompanied right now by my team, the ones who have helped me in a huge event. For me, huge is like in one event, there were about 160 people. And then about a month afterwards, the other huge event is about 170 people in Zoom. So I think we have gathered some experiences, some helpful experiences that can be useful for you if you ever join an event with using Zoom as a platform, or you're going to be asked to help manage. So if you don't know me, I am Abby Caparas. If you're new to this channel, my channel is about work-life balance, technology, and faith. And the recent events that I've been hosting is really a combination of all of these three. Well, work-life balance, because we cannot continue on with life simply just working. We have to put in the spiritual formation, and that happens with the recollection, with the retreat, or sometimes with the professional formation. And then, of course, the technology using Zoom. And then with faith, it always comes in with all our events, like as I mentioned, recollection and retreats and seminars. Okay, so for today, I would like to welcome my guest. So those are my team members when it comes to managing our Zoom events.
Yes, so I'm an IT consultant. Alongside that, I'm a mom of one toddler. So basically that's it. My background is IT. So I just tried helping out in our activities since maybe I felt that I wanted to share something. So that's why I'm here.
Very good. Phia has always been there since the beginning, no? So our second guest is also related to IT, probably married to an IT professional. Hi, Tina. Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon. Hi, I'm Tina Buenafe, and I'm a chemist by profession. And yeah, like Phia, I've been helping with the activities also, and also active in the Girls Club.
And also with you in the Daffodils Girls Club,
Yes.
also helping you manage in Zoom, is our last guest, Ming Torres. Hi, Ming.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I am a young professional, and my background is business management. And just like what you said, I help Tina with the Girls Club and also the activities for young professionals.
Okay, that's great. So all of them, including me, I will be sharing with you 3 tips, 3 tools that you will be able to make use. Something that somehow is quite special for each one of us because we discovered them recently as we manage some Zoom events. And then lastly, we will be sharing each one just one particular thing that we would like you to learn in the next next event that you will join. Okay, so if you have questions, you can post them. Okay, and hopefully I will be able to see them. Let us begin with the top 3 tips of Phia.
Okay, thanks, Avik. So the first one is setting a passcode. So initially, I know before our activities, we've heard that Zoom has this capacity to allow you to set up a passcode or a password that wouldn't allow anyone to enter your meeting. So since our activities, it's only exclusive to a particular audience, it would be good to set up a passcode so that you're ensured that only those you're expecting will be joining the meeting. So this was helpful, especially in the last event, since I know that that one, it's really, there are topics there that's exclusive only for those who are supposed to attend the activity. So this was very helpful. Next one. Okay, the waiting room. So this one, we wanted to set aside or to check out if attendees of the activity are really the ones attending the event. So the waiting room was helpful for us to screen attendees who are joining the meeting. So the waiting room actually, when it was in the middle of the day already, we felt that the members or the ones who have the link are really attendees of the events. So at times, in the middle of the day, you disable the waiting room. So as such, as mentioned, you can disable the waiting room anytime that you want, even if the event is already in progress. But it's good also to just have it there or enable it from time to time so that you can also check out people. So for example, you're not familiar with the names of the people attending, you can maybe place them in the waiting room, send out a message to confirm who they are, then maybe put them back to the regular event. And lastly, okay, this one is record meeting. I found this helpful in the last event. Since our attendees, there we have synchronous and asynchronous activities. So, for example, you have asynchronous activities wherein people they would manage to do some of the activities on their own. The record meeting we have so that anytime that they like, they can just click on the link of YouTube and then they can join that event or particular activity. So the record meeting, it's there in Zoom also, and you'd be able to save particular parts of the Zoom meeting and then be able to share that since you have that in your computer or in your cloud storage, so that you can share it anytime to any person that you'd be able to share that file with. So that's my 3 tools for Zoom.
Ayan, thank you very much. These were very, very important tools, no? Especially the one of the waiting room because of security reasons, no? Sometimes we have to do that first thing in the morning. If, for example, we have a whole day event. But then also, I don't think we have enabled waiting room midday, especially because we are able to see already the participants. And so that's very useful, okay? So now we're going to call on Tina.
My first tip, I guess not many would know about the host key. So I didn't show exactly because this is my account. The host key, as you can see from the definition, is a 6-digit PIN used to claim host controls in a meeting. So you can edit it, or you can retain the default host key applied in your account. But say, for example, you ask someone, you have to, you host a meeting and then you are running late and you ask another person to start the meeting for you, so that person now becomes the host because that's the one who started the meeting. But you can get the host key and then so here's the step. So when you join the meeting, you just click on the participants, and at the bottom of the screen, you will see a button that says claim host. You just click it and then enter the host key. This is a series of numbers. So since it's a PIN, and then once you do that, then you can claim the host and you become the host. So this is very, this is very critical in terms of security. So you shouldn't be sharing your host key to just anyone, only if you trust the other person who will start the meeting for you. So and then the next one is if, like, for example, in my example earlier, you are running late, or somebody has to start, or the original host it has to go somewhere. So this happened once in work. So instead of assigning just a co-host or an alternative host, using the host key allows you to take over the controls of the meeting. Okay, so that's the first. The second one is Okay, so for the pin screen, so this allows you to disable the active speaker and only view a specific speaker. And the spotlight, on the other hand, puts a user as the primary active speaker for all participants. So to be reminded, pin screen is for your personal view. So as a user or as a host, you can pin anyone, any screen on your in Zoom, and then so that screen is the one that you will see always on top. Okay. Spotlight video, on the other hand, is just for the host. So when a host spotlights a video, that would be the main screen to be seen by the participants. So here you would see how to, so the example here, the picture here, this is what a host would see when he goes to manage the participants. So in the Zoom room controller, so both the pin video and the spotlight video will be seen. The options will be seen. However, if you're just a participant, you will only see the pin video. Okay. So here there are other tricks to this. So as mentioned, so when you pin a video, so another uses video, you can choose from any of the videos or the cameras that are on if you want to see clearly another person's or another participant's video. So you can do that, and it will only affect what you see on your screen. It will not affect the other participant's screen. However, for the spotlight video, the host, if he or she spotlights a video, so that would be the main video that the participants would see. But on the other hand, the host can spotlight up to 9 participants. So meaning there's like a panel of speakers that the participants will be able to see. So there. So that's the second tip. And then for the third one, in meeting or the chat options that you have, I guess this is the most, for most of you who are using Zoom already, you might have played with this already. So there are several options in the in-meeting chat. So you can, as a user or as a participant, you can chat with, either you chat with no one, or with everyone, or publicly or privately. So as you see here, the steps is just click on, there's a chat button, like a dialog box at the bottom of the screen. And then when you click it, the chat window will open, and then you can just type anything into it. You can opt to chat a specific person. You just look down the name of the person that you want to chat with, or you can address everyone, or you can just address the host. However, the host, during the meeting, if the meeting is already ongoing, the host has the option to change the chat settings. So this just to share an anecdote, we had, in the girls' club, these young girls are somewhat talkative. I guess it's just natural. So when they get to chat with each other, they don't stop. So sometimes whenever we put like a message in the chat box, it gets drowned with all of their messages. So it's also good for the host to make sure to have that control and the chat options there that the participants can just chat with the host, or to disable altogether the chat while the meeting is ongoing. So that would be very helpful for a smooth run of the meeting. So there you go for the 3 tips that I have.
Thank you very much. The host key for me is something new, although as later on I'll share also something about the host, but it's something that I have to learn also. Since I might be the main host of an event, but I had to go to attend to another event. then I have really to delegate the hosting to another person. Okay, I'll mention that in my learning, in my tool later on. Okay, and then the one of the chat, I think that's very helpful to know that they can just click in the dashboard, the chat, to be able to send some message, really depending on the setting, if they can send a message to everyone, or they can only send a message to just the host. Okay, so now for the final team member, let's now go to Ming.
The first tool that I would like to share is live streaming your Zoom meeting on Facebook. You can use this if you want to reach a wider audience, because not all people have Zoom accounts, but you still want to invite them to your meeting. So you could actually live stream your meeting on Facebook. But before you can do that, before you can access this tool, you have to make sure that these three things are present. First, this tool is only available for licensed Zoom accounts or the premium Zoom accounts. And then second, you have to enable the tool on the Zoom web page. So I'll show you quickly how to do it. So you have to go to the Zoom website itself, and then here you can see settings. So you just click on that. And then in the meeting section, you just click on in meeting advanced, and then you just scroll down until you come across this part, allow live streaming meetings. So you have to make sure that it's ticked, it's activated before you can access it in the app or in the Zoom app. So if you want to go live streaming on Facebook, you have to check this button over here. And then the last thing that you have to remember is you have to think where in Facebook do you want to live stream your meeting. So in our case, I use this for live streaming the events for young professionals, and we have a Facebook page for that. So for example, you have your own page, or you're part of a team who manages the page. You have to make sure that your account on Facebook is set as a page manager or an administrator of the page. So you just click on this more, the three dots here on the lower right, and then you just click live on Facebook. And then it will automatically redirect you to Facebook itself. And then it will give you this option, choose where you want to post your video. And you just click on share on a page you manage. So this is why I mentioned it earlier, that you have to be assigned as a manager of the page. And then after that, you can click which page. So I manage several pages, but I made one just for this demo. So and then you just click next. And then it will show this screen, preparing live streaming preview. There. And then you can put like a title or a description of whatever meeting this is. And then you just click go live. And then it will redirect you to this screen again. And then after that, you can see it already. You're supposed to see it already on the page that chose to go live in. So we're just going to go to it now. And then here you can see that you're already live. And then you can just stop it at any time. You're going to see this button on the upper left, and then stop live stream, and it will automatically stop broadcasting your meeting on Facebook. And then the second tool that I'd like to share is sharing your screen with sound. Some people tend to share, for example, they want to share a video to the Zoom meeting. They forget to share screen sound. So what happens is that only the video is playing, but without the audio. So how do you share screen with sound? So first you click on share screen, and then you choose which video you want to share. And then you have to make sure that you click this little tick box here on the lower left, share computer sound. And then just click share. And that will make sure that not only the video will be shown, but also the audio. Okay. And lastly, for my last tool, it's removing screen annotations. As mentioned earlier, we manage or we help organize girls' club activities. And sometimes the kids are excited to also use Zoom. So sometimes when somebody is presenting, for example, I share a slide like this. So sometimes there, you can see Tina is annotating. Sometimes the kids do this for fun, and then the hosts or the titas are kind of baffled about it. Na alam, may nagre-present, and then a kid suddenly writes, but it's actually easy to delete it. So you just have to click annotate and then clear. And then you have the option. So do you want to clear all drawings, your drawings only, or the viewer's drawings only? But I just usually do clear all drawings. So there, and then it's done. So your screen is now clean again. So yeah, that's all my 3 tips. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ming. Those are very useful tips. So this time it's me. I'm going to share 3 things that I really learned during these 2 big events that I hosted. The first is as regards the hosting. I realized I can actually delegate ending the meeting to the co-host that I selected. Because there was one time, if you have seen the virtual choir video, there was a point that they were meeting and I hosted it. And I told them, before you end the meeting, call me, text me, message me so that I can end the meeting. So I realized at one point that I told Phia, try not to end the meeting without me because I have really another event I have to attend to. And she was able to end the meeting. So I said, wow, that's good. That somehow is quite liberating that you really have to be in several meetings at the same time. So start the meeting and delegate to the co-host ending the meeting. And one thing that I learned is if you are a participant, you will see the button that says leave the meeting. If you are the host, then the button at the lower right says end the meeting. So you have to be careful because sometimes I am a host and I'm a participant depending on what screen I am sharing. Okay? So I always have to remind myself, okay, end the meeting, don't end the meeting because somehow, you don't want that meeting to end, accidentally. And then the breakout rooms. I don't know if you have seen the screen of Tina. I will not show it anymore, but there is this for the license account, or you call that Pro Plan. They can also have breakout rooms. Is that right, Tina? So anyway,
Yes.
I realized that when I say, okay, the groupings are still there, I didn't realize that as soon as I end the meeting, the groups will disappear. So that, like me, I was proud. Okay, I was telling one group, one team who was handling an event, can we still have the same grouping? Yeah, sure, no problem. And then, of course, I was listening to some videos about Zoom tutorials. I realized it wasn't mentioned in that video, so now I'm mentioning it right now. If you have created a group, breakout rooms, and you end the meeting, once you restart the meeting, you don't have those groups anymore. So I think the easiest way is just do an automatic breakout. The Zoom will do it for you. When you say automatic, they'll actually just divide the entire group into a specific number of groups. You will decide how many groups, and they will just automatically divide it. And then the third thing that I realize is that I do not have to mute everyone. Sometimes I get rattled when there's a noise, and I would decide, okay, mute all. And one day, I muted the speaker, okay? So now I realize that when you open the panel of participants, there's an order there that you will only see the ones that have, for example, they put their video on, they put their sound on. So I realized that, of course, you don't even have to scroll down to see kanino ba yung noise coming in. So it's all there at the top. And then, not only that, you can actually see that there's a certain microphone, that there's a green level that's going up. So that is, if there's a noise coming in, an unnecessary sound coming in, you just have to mute that participant. Okay, I realized that, wow, that is something, because even if the others' sounds are on, well, you will actually see the mic icon with the green moving up and down, and that's where the unnecessary sound is coming from. Okay? So now it's 5:45, we have 15 minutes to go, and I would like to end this with the one tool or one biggest tip that you want all the other viewers to master.
The last tip that I can share with everyone is actually the views available in Zoom. So the default is the active speaker view. So this is automatic since whoever is speaking, that person will be the screen or the view that you'll see as an audience of that meeting. Now, there are times when people would ask, who are the other participants of the meeting, something like that, or who else joined this particular activity. So there's an option to change your view to gallery. So that view will allow you to see other members of the meeting. Now, the third one, it was already mentioned by Ming earlier, the shared window. So if everyone is in a shared window, that say slide or that presentation application will be the one displayed in the view. Now, this tip I wanted to share because when we were in the activity in the middle of it, someone asked, "How come I don't see the speaker?" Something like that, and then it's easy if you're in a computer. It's just changing your view from speaker to gallery. It's easy, but when you're in your mobile device, someone shared, you just scroll and then it'll change to this particular person that you're looking for. So that's one tip that I learned in the activity that we had. So it's not everyone using only laptops or computers during your activities. People who are also in the mobile devices, they can also change their views, but it's more accessible for them if they just span or they just scroll on the screens to change that view. So there.
That's very good because I didn't know that. Being in mobile, I just somehow entrust everything to the host, but I didn't realize that I can just scroll. I'll do that the next time. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I guess one other tool I can share is the reactions here at the options below. You can actually use this to see or to engage more with your audience. So you could just tell them to click the reaction button to say how you're feeling right now. And I think that will make your class or your meeting more engaging rather than just one-sided, as in just the speaker talking and then the rest listening. So you could use these reactions for that.
Okay. My question there, Ming, how were you able to get the icons? I thought that I just had 2 icons. Could you actually add that as the host?
I'm also not sure, but these are the default ones that I have.
So here you can see this is the floating toolbar that I said. So you would see on the rightmost, it's actually there's 3 dots, an ellipsis, and there are more options there. I guess that's sometimes when sharing, the host or the one sharing would want to see the chat. So, but we can't find it here on the top, on the options. You only see like the audio, the video, the participants. But sometimes you just miss out. You just click on the ellipsis, the 3 dots there, and then you will see the chat. And then other options that you might want to use. So for the host, there's the one shared by Ming, the disabled participants annotation. So that's very critical. Sometimes, oh no, annotate where? So when you're panicking, so these options would be very helpful. So I guess that's it. So you just don't miss out on what other tools or options there are in Zoom by just clicking these 3 dots here.
Okay, thank you very much, Tina. So lastly, for my one tool that I think you have to master is renaming yourself before you even sign in to an event. I remember a lady a lady friend of mine who attended the first big event, and I said, this is the naming convention. Rename yourself. For example, Pasig, PAS _ and Juana de la Cruz. And then afterwards, both of us joined another event, a smaller one, and she says, oh, so Avik, they're asking me to change it to, say, Metro Manila, MM. Can I change it? Of course, because that's really your profile. So I think it's very important to master renaming yourself because you might be attending, if we're going to be in this pandemic for the next 2 years, hopefully not. So we're going to have more of these events. So I think you have to master renaming yourself, signing into your account, rename yourself before you sign in to an event. Okay, so that you will follow whatever naming convention is for that event. Okay, so you know what's happening right now. We are not getting the comments, so no problem. So if that is the case, wala nang questions, I would like to thank Phia, Tina, and me for joining me this afternoon for this interesting topic, something that we really have to master. I know that you are trying to do Viber or FB Messenger rooms and all these things, but I think personally, I don't know if the other three will agree, Zoom has a lot more advanced features. I know some people are using Google Meet. That could be another video. You know, how different is Zoom from the other platforms. So good luck with mastering all of these tools that we have today. So just one last words probably from each one, and then we will say bye-bye to them. So let's start with Phia.
Yeah, don't be afraid of Zoom. It can be a friend. So we have friends who are seniors from the activities that we've been attending who are fond of it already. So it's just a matter of practice and loving the tool. So there, that's my words.
Very good, Phia. I think that's very important because sometimes the ladies would say that, you know, my grandchildren, they know this better. But actually, there are many things that we can know. So no problem. You just have to be, try little by little every day. You learn something, note it in your journal. No? Okay, Tina?
Okay, I guess I'd like to second what Pia said, no? To not be afraid, to try. Actually, I guess all of us also started not knowing anything about Zoom, but through trial and error, attending meetings in Zoom, and eventually leading to hosting meetings in Zoom. So even up to now, we haven't really mastered all of the tools in Zoom, but little by little, exploring it, I guess, will help us understand and use the Zoom tool better, the Zoom application better.
Thank you, Tina. And me, for the last words?
Yes, maybe I could just give a shout out to Zoom itself because it has been a really helpful tool during this time. And I would agree with all of you that number one, Zoom is the best one, the best tool for me, I think, because of the easy controls. And yeah, it's worthwhile to learn it because it will lead us to better productivity.
Okay, so there you have it. I am sure you have learned a lot. And really, don't be overwhelmed. Just try one thing that you learned from this and master it. Okay, so with that, have a good evening. Have a good supper. Thank you, Phia. Thank you, Tina. And thank you, Ming.